guys, this is Wyatt Funderburk, and I'm in my studio in Nashville, Tennessee. And today we're looking at my track called Transit of Venus. It's on my new EP, Fleeting and Finite, and it's a big one. And there's a lot of stuff going on. We're going to talk about all the sounds that are in the song and how I made it. So let's get into the session here. The song starts off with like a cassette playback, and so I've got a bunch of stuff running through a cassette player and then also a cassette type filter, and then there's also some field recordings that I did. We'll just talk about the main synthesizer sounds here. The first one being a Juno 106, which plays the bass on this entire song, and it sounds like this. So that's the bass. And then I also added the JX8P, which is a really great synthesizer also from Roland that came out a year later, but it's very different. It has some different sounding pads, and the filter is very slow and very cinematic. And there is a soundtrack pad, and it's called Soundtrack Pad, and it was mostly known for Laura Palmer's theme in Twin Peaks. So that sounds like this. And then I've got the Roland SEO2, a lot of Roland synths. I love the Rolands. And that guy is kind of doing a little high droney note. It sounds like this. And you put those synthesizers all together, and it sounds like this. So that's mainly what's going on with the synths there. And then I have Todd Patton played the drums on this record and pretty much all my records. And I recorded the drums 10 years ago and replaced the kick and snare with some samples and added some percussion. This is what that sounds like. So very 80s sounding. There's also a drum machine in the cassette sections. It's a Oberheim DMX, and it sounds like this. Very 80s. And then I've also got some acoustic guitars. I like layering those Jeff Lynne style and letting them kind of take over for the space that would be typically like a hi-hat or a shaker. And they sound like this. Love it. I've got a little vocoder here. Sounds like this. Fun. Then I've got the main vocal, which is me. I have a full Warm Audio signal chain. I have the 87 microphone going into the 73 Neve style EQ and then into the all new Blue Stripe revision 1176, and it sounds great. So that sounds like this. She took him by the water one day, the place her father brought her one day. Everything's getting a little bit of reverb. I use the Big Sky plugin as well as a Altiverb room. And there's a lot of stuff going on the vocals as far as like saturation, decapitator, Fairchild running in parallel. And then I've got H delay, super plate, and a lexicon all doing different styles of time-based effects. So, and that's kind of spread out over the whole track. There's a lot of different tracks that have ambience, and I just kind of use those buses to delve out different time-based effects. And then there's also some parallel compression on the drums. And so then again, we go back to the cassette. Right here I've got a JX8P doing a new bass part. Sounds like this. And then I've got the Prophet 5, which is my very favorite synthesizer that I own, doing a very simple polysynth there. Very Stan Bush. Sounds like there's about to be a big robot battle or something like that. And then that, along with the DMX drum machine, sounds like this. And then, yeah, we're back into another verse, but we've got a little guitar solo. So I don't do a lot of guitar as far as electric guitar on this record, but I did a short little guitar solo here with my Reverend Rocco, and I'm just running through the Kemper. I think it was a Marshall Plexi. A little delay in verb. It sounds like this. And I've got a little Matrix 1000 by Oberheim doing a lead that's doubling that, and it sounds like this. And then I've got little backing vocals there, just quadruple tracked. So that leads us into the second verse, pretty much the same. There's some harmonies going on there.
She pulled him out in time for autumn. He was alive and bewildered by the fire in her eyes. But
fun. Yeah. And then moving on, we've got another cassette section, same vibe. And then there's kind of a full-on version of the chorus after that cassette version. And then I've doubled the Prophet and spread it out wide. So the thing with the Prophet is it's mono, but the fun thing you can do is you can detune it or play it slightly different and then pan it left and right, and it still sounds really nice in stereo. So that's what I did there. It's just the best. It's just the best synth there is. Then that JX8P bass from earlier is back. And I also did a OB6 bass. So I have the OB6 module. It's a modern Oberheim synth that's very similar to like the OBXA that was famous back in the early 80s, and but it's a modern synth, analog, and it sounds like this on this secondary bass part that's kind of has a lead vibe to it. It's nice and wide. And then I forgot there's another synth that I haven't talked about yet. That's the this main little kind of arpeggio riff, which is a Matrix 1000 again by Oberheim. I love this synth because it's really kind of goofy. It's like a preset synth. It's really hard to program unless you have like a software editor, which I do, but I love the presets, and It's got 1,000 presets, which is why it's called the Matrix 1000. And it was released in 1987, and it was the last of their original analog synths. And then it's got some great unique sounds on it, and it is also mono, so I did detune it slightly and pan it left and right and record it twice. And I love the sound of it, and that sounds like this. So that goes in a few different places, and then I kind of, once I heard that and got to this midsection here, I really wanted to add another part that sounded like that. So I did a vocal part and kind of did like this group vocal that kind of went along with that synth, and it sounds like this.
You brought me round to your seaside town. When you kissed me there, burned the whole place down. We parted ways for 100 days. Watched the city burn and we fanned the flames.
The only other part of this song to talk about is I did another solo section with the Oberheim, with the OB6. I did a lead. And it's kind of got a Steve Winwood vibe. Oh yeah. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the song, and where I throw everything at you. I like throwing the kitchen sink at you at the very end. So I've got all the parts coming back, and we'll look at a few of them. So the SEO2, drums, of course the Juno bass, the Matrix 1000 arpeggio, and the acoustic guitars. And the electric guitars. And then, of course, I had to throw everything at you as far as vocals. So let's see if we can highlight the vocal stack there. It's a lot going on.
There's something between.
That's quadruple tracked.
I
I like to do that and then bringing in the other parts and giving them new life.
You brought me round to your seaside town. When you kissed me there, burned the whole place down. We parted ways for 100 days. Watched the city burn and we fanned the flames.
Yep, it's like 16 different Wyatts going on there. Always fun. Maybe a little bit of a handful, but I'm all I've got, man. I gotta throw myself in there as much as possible there. So yeah, the ending goes back to the cassette loop, and then we're back to this. Just our few friends from the beginning, and then we've got an abrupt stop to the cassette player. Always fun. So that's Transit of Venus. I hope you guys liked it. I really like this song. If you want to hear me go over any other tunes that I've done, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.
There's